pleasant day to all my subscribers, my viewers, the obedient family, active citizens, and Nigerians. Thank you for joining me once again. Now, Fabio has been reported to the ECOWAS, in the ECOWAS meeting, and he was actually reported by a lawmaker, a Liberian lawmaker, or is it a parliamentarian, that actually spoke truth to power about the issue between him and Natasha. And I can tell you that with the antics or the patterns that the government is actually taking, a lot of people, not just within Nigeria but outside, are getting to realize that what we actually said initially, or there is more to this that makes the eye, is actually becoming very clear to them, because they are looking at it as like, okay, why is the government fully involved in trying to persecute a woman that said that this man sexually harassed her, and then they have not called the person to order? He has not passed through any form of questioning. He has not come before a panel of inquiry, nothing, and then they are actually going for her directly and using those that actually are the accused as the witnesses against the person that accused them. And it's quite unfortunate, and she has spoken truth to power. Now, while this is happening, another APC chieftain have said, look, I am not going back to the APC. I repent. Peter Obi is the way, and that is the way I'm going to actually follow. I'm going to be showing you these videos, and everything there is, so that you can actually understand what is going on. But Oshimole and what is his name? Sorry, entered into a word fight in a function yesterday. While Showere was on the podium, he actually called out Oshimole, and then Oshimole decided to go on the podium too and call him out. It was a banter of words, and I can tell you what Oshimole said, although I agree with some of it, but some of it are incorrect. There is no way we can correct the wrongs that is actually happening if we don't lay them bare and actually speak about them. You cannot in any way keep quiet when impunity is actually taken over. You must be able to speak out, and when you speak out, that is when correction comes in. What he said is not absolutely wrong. We must always try to hope that there is a better country, and that is why the truth is, for everybody to come and start picking out the ills, then definitely they believe that, okay, if these people can actually listen and actually put those things, checkmate those things and fix it, then the country can really get better. There is no way you will not have critics when you're doing wrong. Now, let me show you what he actually said, and when I come back, we'll continue.
I was not going to measure his name, but once you measure my name, I must measure your name. I heard Showore now try to mislead us. He said he contested for presidency of Nigeria and that INEC is of no use. If INEC is of no use, why did you submit your forms to INEC? And this is the way, because in the course of talking, he also said we made a mistake in not contesting in 1999. It is this same cynicism, doubt, dismiss, sweeping generalization that misled those or some of those who struggle for democracy to say nothing good can come out of the military. They don't mean it. There will be no election. A rat cannot give birth to a rabbit. There were all kinds of stories. How can the military midwife real democracy? No, it's not possible. Because it's always better to dismiss everything. We'll get a lot of applause. Then the bad guys decided, since you guys who fight and you keep dismissing those who were in charge of the system you want to change, we will go in there. They went in and they captured power. And they changed the contour of power. They changed the rules of the game. And I can speak with authority why I say, when you dismiss in a very sweeping manner that the country is hopeless, the system is impossible, so we should begin to cry. I stand here to say that every leader, every one of us here, must do nothing to discourage people from believing that there is no future, because the past and the present is not as rousing as we want it to be. The fight of the imperfections, the fight of the gap between where we think we ought to be and where we are should be enough incentive for us not to give up on ourselves.
Now you've seen it, right? He gave his own part of the whole thing, trying to rub it on Sowore. Sowore is somebody that is not a friend of anybody. We've seen how he's an opposition to the opposition. He's not, in fact, a lot of people believe that he's a mole of the government, of Tinubu's government, because we see that he rarely speaks about what is actually happening in Tinubu's government, but attack anybody that is actually, trying his best to also speak out. And we've seen him do some kind of things, and that's quite unfortunate. I keep asking myself the question, him and Adams Oshimole can just do whatever they want to do, because trust me, I'm not a friend of any. They can actually speak whatever they challenge themselves. But one of the reasons why I said I don't agree with Adams is that Adams is in the system, and then although he's very vocal when it comes to the house, talking about some stuff, talking about the people and all that, and he has said it very clearly, he don't agree totally with Tinubu's pattern of governance, and he has said it clearly. But you can also judge that without actually bringing out those ills, you cannot create a change. And one of the places where I started actually looking at Sowore with one eye is when we started talking about this whole electoral reform and the rest, where Randy Peters was actually moving it and said, okay, we need to come all out, we need to protest, we need to talk about it, because there is no change that can occur if we don't start dealing with these issues. And trust me, Sowore has been silent. Even when they say the protest was going to happen, he has said nothing. He has no ginger, nothing. He is just quiet. He's only whatever, revolution now, let's go and protest against the government. Let's protest against what the government is doing to us. Let's go and attack them for hunger protest. This one protest is good, but the main protest now, where he's supposed to put mouth now, carry him boys, where Hallelujah boys, join them. Let us see how they can actually, everybody can come together and start demanding for the right thing to do, because this is the only place where you can actually change things. He has not done it. In that podium, he went there and said INEC is rubbish. INEC is supposed to be scrapped and all that. What are you doing? You didn't join. We have not had anything from him. Mama P, God bless you. She was there. She all the way from Benin, she had to come into Abuja for that stuff and all that. But you see somebody that everybody's saying, after all, he's an activist that have done so great. He means well for the country. Join this protest. Even though Randy Peters was not totally agreeing with him when he was attacking Peter Obi. But at the end of the day, if the purpose is right, why do you always attack people when they are always, the purpose is what you are supposed to look at. Is this person actually heading towards the right direction? If he is, then let us join him and all that. But you didn't see him. So I just don't believe in him the way others are carrying it. He's an activist, he has done great, yes, but trust me, he's not somebody to actually rely on when it comes to matters like this. Let me take you to the next videos. When I come back, we'll wrap this up. Now it reads, suspension. Liberian lawmaker makes case for Natasha at ECOWAS parliament. Now let's get into the details of this. Now it reads, Liberian lawmaker and ECOWAS parliamentarian Honorable Moima Bridge Mensah has raised concern over the ongoing legal battle between Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and Senator Godswill Akpabio. Akpoti-Uduaghan was suspended for 6 months and faced criminal prosecution. Bridge Mensah emphasized that the case is not just a personal struggle, but touches on the dignity, freedom, and political space of all women in West Africa. She made the call at the ongoing first ordinary session of ECOWAS parliamentarians in Abuja. What happens to one woman in public service should matter to all of us. Honorable Natasha's case is about every woman's right to speak, to lead, and to serve without fear of intimidation, Honorable Bridge Mensah stated during one of the plenary sessions. Senator Natasha, as one of the members of the Nigerian delegations at the ECOWAS parliament, couldn't participate in the session due to her 6-month suspension, and the Liberian lawmaker felt it was time for them to speak out and fight for her. Now, this matter is really becoming, something that is taking almost the attention of everybody. The government have weathered in fully, trying to prosecute her for criminal charges, as they said, and all that. So let's see how the whole thing pans out. And you can see that a lot of women out there are beginning to believe that there is more to this than meets the eye. They're actually trying to silence her completely. But let's watch and see. Let's get back to the video.
This conversation about North and South is coming from the emptiness of our politics. The politicians have nothing to offer. If they have, let them put the ideas on the table. I'm going to go for a president wherever he comes from. Once he's a Nigerian, he has the ideas to fix this country. In this 21st century, we're still talking about North and South. In any case, we have tried Northern presidents, we have tried Southern presidents. What have they done? I've not seen anything. I mean, Buhari's regime was a disaster. So, and I have said so severally, many people have said so. So why should we be stuck about Akpabio? Akpabio, for goodness sake. What does he represent? Tell me. What ideas can you associate with Akpabio? What contribution has he made to the development of this country? Look at the padding in the budget. There are over 11,000, padded budget, about how many trillion? I mean, this bunch of thieves, for goodness sake, stop talking about them. Talk about ideas. How can we fix this country? Look at the population growing. Look at the lack of jobs. Look at the insecurity. Look at the inflation. Look at the bills that are mounting. How can we survive in the 21st century? We're in a competitive environment.
Okay, Dr. Bugadi.
Tell these politicians that talk about North and South, bring your ideas.
Dr. Bugadi.
Now you've seen the whole Akpabio stuff, right? Let me just dive into Peter Obi's story. It said, Peter Obi is the light. I have repented from supporting APC, ex-SGF, Babachir, Lawal. Let's get into the details. Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Babachir Lawal, has stated that he has ceased supporting the All Progressive Congress, stressing that Peter Obi is the light of Nigeria. He made this statement on an interview program on Channels TV. Recall that Lawal formerly encouraged Nigerians to vote for the APC. However, during the interview, he revealed that he has repented from such convictions. In the lives of people that are so oppressed, living under undescribable insecurity, poverty, ignorance, hunger, and disease, a time comes when they get fed up, and a little thing will just ignite the flames, and there's a conflagration. I can tell you that Peter Obi is that conflagration in Nigeria, because every Nigerian has come to realize that there is no way we can continue the way we are doing. When asked the state of things in Nigeria, he said, nothing is working under the APC government. Meanwhile, Lawal was one of the individuals that encouraged Nigerians to vote for the APC. When asked why he retracted his words, he answered, my brother, I have seen the light. You can repent when you see the light. I saw the light and I repented. I'm sorry. When asked who the light is and who the darkness represents, he replied, Peter Obi is the light. The darkness represents the both system that governs us, which is the PDP and the APC. Now you can actually hear that. Let's get back to the video. Now you've seen it, right? The truth is actually coming to the open. I know that eventually, whatever is hidden, we actually start. There is no way somebody will be doing right by the people, doing right since after they stole his mandate, that eventually people will not start aligning with him. I've said it, Peter Obi is the name in the opposition, is the name everywhere, in the mouth of the APC, in the mouth of the opposition, in the mouth of supporters, in everywhere is Peter Obi. And while that is going on, you can see what Akpabio and some of the leaders we have represent, the failures they represent. Look at what is actually happening all over the place. Look at the errors that is happening. Look at, if it's gotten to an extent now that non-Nigerians are actually saying, okay, there is more to this that makes the eye. Let us start reporting this man, because they want to play, a prank on this woman. They want to actually deal with this woman for speaking truth to power. There is a way you behave, even what is not true. People will start suspecting that what that thing you are saying is not true is actually true. If you had submitted, I keep saying it, I say if you had submitted yourself to, investigation and, the panel of inquiry and all that, and then, let them go through everything, and then you come out stainless, there's no problem. People would have not started suspecting you. But from the moment Natasha spoke about this thing, we've seen moves to actually mess her up. They have tried to actually remove her from there using that whole fake recall. They have tried to, as she said, allegedly try to take her out completely. Now the government, the whole FG, now they involve themselves for the matter, using the people that were accused as what do they call them now? Witnesses. So at the end of the day, you can see that when you look at it all round, the more they move dirty, the more they expose themselves. And everybody is beginning to understand who Akpabio is. You can hear from, the person that was being interviewed. Clearly, he stated it. What has Akpabio achieved? apart from say a praise singer for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and this is supposed to be the leader of the Senate, an arm that's supposed to hold the executive very strongly, vet all what they are doing and the rest. They have become what? Praise singers. Going to functions, endorsing, Tinubu will endorse you for the whole this thing. If you can come back, you are the only one unopposed. It's not only unopposed in the party, it's unopposed in Nigeria. A psycho fan, somebody that loves mediocrity, and you put him in that position. So what do you expect? And that is why we must strive to actually make men like this get out of power, because they don't have contributions to make. They are just there for selfish interest. They are just there for personal, interest. Nothing more, nothing less. And the funny thing is that when you now come and talk about their failures, they start looking for how to haunt you, mess you up. Because it's a cartel now of people that are wrongdoers. They will now join their hands together to look for how to take you out. They have done everything to try and remove Natasha from the picture. It's not working. They have now resulted into carrying her to court, criminal charges and all that. For saying they wanted to kill her. And she's dogged. She's saying, I have my evidence. I'm going to bring it out. Now you can see that people from outside are getting to realize that, oh, there is more to this. What these people are planning to do to this woman is because there is a level of truth in whatever she's saying. And that is it. So you can actually see. And then at the end of the day, a lot of them are now looking at the side of the coalition and Peter Obi. We know how many APC, strong chieftains that have left. And they are actually following the coalition, looking for how to actually join, because they believe the party has failed them. Not only the party, the man at the top has failed them. It is no more news. It's littered everywhere. Everybody is looking for how to rescue themselves from the failures of this party. And that is what is actually happening. Now, let me drop this here, guys. Please drop your comments in the comment section. Really love to hear from you. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell so that whenever I drop a video, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you for watching this video. Have a blessed remaining part of your day. I'll see you next time.